Greetings. Thank you. Good to see you and be with you, Abraham, Esther, and Jerry, in spirit. And I finally got it. What I got was, after getting fired from several medical jobs and blaming the administrators on firing me and calling them bastards and whatever names I used, I finally got it that I wanted to get out of it. I don't even believe.
Law of attraction's the bastard.
Yeah, right. When I was in it, I said, what am I doing here? I don't believe fully in the Western medical system. And so they booted me, but not because of saying that, but I was just putting out that energy. So now that I'm creating this new vortex of what I want to feel in my self-employment career, my question is it important to know exactly what I want to do? Is it enough to have the feeling?
It has to be. It has to be enough to be where you are. Because where you are is where you are. But as our friend helped us to define earlier, it's all right to poke around in that to see if anything juicy comes out of it. By poking around and identifying what you didn't like, it helps you to accentuate what you want instead. And that's a productive and clarifying use of contrast. And so we think that you could speak for a long time on the beneficial approach that you would like to take as a result of what you witnessed in a system that's bogged down with what-isness. Mm-hmm. We don't feel from you any confusion about what you prefer. We can give you something really clearly here. The contradiction in your personal vibration isn't about what you know about healing. It's about what you know about business. It was the business part of medicine that was primarily tripping you up. Because when business drives things, then sometimes the intuitiveness is set aside. Yes. And so we don't feel that you're confused at all about what you have to offer. The confusion that we can feel from you is about how to go about making it work for you. Yes?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And yet, your life experience has shown you.
It's Jerry.
He always likes the business part. Your life experience has shown you what you like about that, too. So, can you identify for us easily, or just give us some words about what you did like about the Western medicine in terms of the business aspects of it? Were there any positive aspects there? And remember, your vortex is already created, and so it's already there. We just want to hear you practice some things that will cause you to get into the receptive mode so that it can begin moving to you in greater clarity. Are we clear about that? So he's created a vortex of both what he wants to do in medicine and both what he wants to do business-wise. It's already there. It's already a viable, productive plan. But he can't find it quite yet because he's still pushing against what he's left behind. And so not yet quite a vibrational match to what the vortex is. So here's this vibration that he can't quite reach, and we want him to get up there in the vibrational vicinity of it so that more ideas will begin to flow. So we're going to suggest anything we can think of that might put you in the vibrational vicinity of what you've already created so that the ideas can then begin to flow. So give us some positive aspects of the medicine part of it. Let's start there because that part's easier for you.
Well, I saw nothing positive about the business aspect of hospitals, so I can't say anything there.
All right, that's why we started with the other.
Okay. I found great joy at helping people heal, even if it was not through medicine, but through talking with them. And
So through my life experience, I've come to know that sometimes people get out of whack with their own well-being. And I've gathered enough information that I can often see a very clear path that if they will listen to me, I can guide them back into the balance that they're looking for. That's really a clear statement for you, isn't it? So that part of it feels solid to us. In other words, there's nothing in that part of it to clean up. Just stay knowing what you know about yourself and what you love about the healing profession. Just stay where you are and all is well about that. But it's the self-employment that you're sort of tripping over. So when you say there are no positive aspects, we want to point out some. That the facilities that have been built are as a result of a lot of momentum. The structures, even the way the money flows. And we know a lot of that is in upheaval right now, but it's getting better every day in terms of money flowing toward some of these remedies. And even though we know you have disagreements about where a lot of the money is going and how it could be going more to what really matters and not so much to others, just sort of set that aside just a little bit and feel appreciation for the momentum around that idea.
the fact they built momentum to create a huge business, for
Yes.
instance,
Yes.
took a lot of effort and momentum and brains.
And in the same way that investors have dovetailed with the medical community as it exists, and an infrastructure has been built of insurance and buildings and all of that. The same thing is now happening around this more progressive medicine field that you are talking about. In other words, because there are so many people that, like you, are reaching for something different. So those infrastructures are coming into place now too, aren't they?
Yes.
So tell us one thing, the most important thing. We're going to ask you for about 5, but tell us the most important thing from your perspective that the existing medical environment provides that is productive to the patient. Hard to find, isn't it?
It is. It's tough.
So tell us something that you would like to provide, a bridge that you would make, something that you are offering.
To look at another aspect of the healing, which is the field of energy around a person.
All right, so do you need an infrastructure in order to do that?
No.
And so all of that momentum that they've gathered for the thing that you feel is most important is completely unnecessary. So you can call that, if you want to, we like to, call that all their dog and pony show. But not necessary to accomplishing what you want to accomplish. And so that part's easy, isn't it? So when you are interacting with someone, do you feel that for the most part, for the medicine that you want to do you need a big infrastructure and a big facility backing you up? Or is it just you and what you know and your patient?
Basically, it's just me, a device, some software, and that's it.
All right, so that part of that financial momentum is irrelevant then too, isn't it? Can you feel what we're doing here? Mm-hmm. We're helping you to realize that everything that you need is in place, and that as you acknowledge that everything that you need is in place, rather than pushing against this big juggernaut of a system which you don't have in place, that all your doubts and worries are going to dissipate, and there'll be this open path that the cooperative components, meaning all those who are seeking what you know, can flow easily to you and you to them.
I like that.
Everything's in place. You just don't need to figure it out all at once. And as we've been visiting here, all we've been doing is shifting energy, and not that much even, because you're in a much better place than you're giving yourself credit.
Thank you.
If you'll just cut out the bashing of them, which is hard to do because they're big and they're everywhere and they're in your face, and almost everybody you meet has brushed up against them in some way. And so they have been influencing. But in the interaction with that environment has been created a vortex that you have received the inspiration from. So you're already on your way. Just enjoy it as it unfolds. So now we want to give all of you, and especially you, some conversation to help you recognize when you're in the receptive mode, what it feels like to be in the receptive mode. So you're doing something else, not related to building a practice, not related to anything like that. You may be taking a walk. You may just be awakening from a nap or from a night's sleep. You may be taking a shower. Your mind isn't in the problem-solving mode. And sometimes that's the best mode to be in, isn't it? Not the problem-solving mode, because the problem-solving mode does have a little more resistance in it than is really necessary. So let's say you're not in the problem-solving mode at all, and a thought comes to you. Acknowledge when that thought comes, because it didn't just come out of the blue. It came out of your vibrational allowance. And say to yourself right out loud, I must be in the receptive mode, because that's a really good idea. And then just savor the idea that I must be in the receptive mode, and good for me. I got that idea, and there's more ideas like that coming. But even more important than ideas coming, I'm in the receptive mode. Well, the receptive mode means, think about what we were talking about earlier, about your point of attraction and how everything's coming to you based upon what you're broadcasting. So you were broadcasting a signal in this moment that allowed something that you had broadcast earlier to be received. You'd already asked, it's already in your vortex. Now you're in that non-resistant mode, and so the idea comes to you as you acknowledge, oh, I must be in the receptive mode. And then think about what being in the receptive mode means. And then don't try to push the idea. Don't try to make a big decision right now. Don't try to make something happen with it. Just feel satisfaction that you are in this moment doing the only thing that is necessary for you at all. You are in the receptive mode. You're in the receiving of good ideas mode. But here's the piece we really want you to hear. The same way that idea came to you just now, other ideas are coming to you too. And other people are coming to you too. In other words, there is a culmination happening around you. And when those ideas start flowing, that's how you know you're in the receptive mode. So once you get in that receptive mode, the first thing that happens is the first manifestation, and we're going to call a thought a manifestation. The first manifestation that happens is a thought, and on the heels of it instantaneously is an emotion that amplifies or confirms or affirms the frequency of that thought. So receptive mode, boom, thought sounds like a great idea and feels good while you're thinking it. So as you acknowledge that you're in the receptive mode and you don't get in the effort mode, you're in the receptive mode. It's not that I thought of this great idea, it's that I received this great idea. I am the receiver. So as you acknowledge that, that receiving mode is going to continue, and now you're going to receive effort mode. You're in the receptive mode. It's not that I thought of this great idea, it's that I received this great idea. I am the receiver. So as you acknowledge that, that receiving mode is going to continue, and now you're going to receive funding. You're going to receive other people with great ideas. You're going to receive intuition about how to deal with individuals. This manifestation is just going to keep occurring. And through it all, the best part is that it feels so good to be in the receptive mode, because the receptive mode is the mode of clarity, not the mode of confusion. It's the mode of security, not the mode of I don't know what I'm going to do. It's the mode of abundance. You see what we're getting at? You can just feel you're on path. Helpful?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.